Sarah, why is this funding being cut when remote Indigenous children clearly need an education and good school facilities?
Well, Sharri, great to join you. This has been cut because, quite frankly, the Albanese government does not care enough about this issue. The former coalition government provided $75 million to build and upgrade 4 Indigenous boarding schools. There has been a cost escalation, but the government decided to cut funding and not go ahead with 2 of these schools. These are, Sharri, some of the most disadvantaged Indigenous students in the country. And I say to the Prime Minister, as he is waffling on about the voice and improving the lives of Indigenous children, where are the voices of those children who are now being denied a proper education? It really is absolutely appalling. And Education Minister Jason Clare has really dropped the ball and demonstrated that he is not placing the needs of Indigenous children in these really remote areas as a priority.
Now, the Institute of Public Affairs claims that university campuses are effectively killing free speech. They report that 90% of universities are running policies that are hostile to free speech, from discouraging students to disagree with Indigenous people, a ban on typing in uppercase because it's shouting, and also instructions to avoid using words like man and ladies. What do you think about this?
Well, firstly, can I say that academic freedom and free speech is a foundational principle of education. Classrooms and lecture theatres are for education, not indoctrination. I have to say the IPA has done some really good work here. I was shocked to read some of their findings, including the dictum from the University of Wollongong that students should not use words such as father and mother and wife. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. We've seen some really serious incidents of breaches of freedom of speech on university campuses. The Coalition worked very hard when we were in government to implement an academic freedom framework led by the former Justice Robert French. But I have to say I'm really shocked by this. This is not good enough, and this deserves a far greater attention by the government.
What can actually be done in this area, though, because it does seem like universities are kind of a law unto themselves?
Well, I've been saying long and hard that the government must do much more to hold universities to account. Universities seem to be very focused on driving revenue and getting students through the door, but much less focused on how they look after students and about their performance, including things like completion rates. Too many students are falling through the cracks, and I think universities to some degree are getting away with far too much, Sharri. So the government must look at this very, very closely, must take action. It's clear to me that the universities are not supporting our framework that we established, supporting free speech in universities, and that's detrimental to education. So the government must take action.